Hello, I am the Mad King Paradox S, bringing you a review of a movie I've yet to see a whole lot of people do. But first off, Halloween, one of my favorite times in the year, well, my favorite time of the year, let's be honest here, is only a few days away. So what better way than to do some Halloween related stuff, I guess. And I couldn't think of anything better than reviewing a Halloween series I have a lot of fond memories of that I grew up with when I was little, so why not? And it's nothing too out there like all of those horror type movie type deals. No, this is actually a movie that a lot of people my age either know very well or never watched, which is sad because the series is actually pretty good. So I should bet. I was hoping I wasn't slow talk today. But this is my review of the original Halloweentown. I know it's a Disney movie, but bear with me. It's a good one. This is back when they actually put out some good shit. And like I said, this is a Halloween series I like, so if you don't like it, there's other things for you to watch. I don't remember which one it is, so, whichever side it's on, just do that. But if it's a series you haven't seen, or a series you haven't seen in a while, alright then. Maybe this will remind you. But, well, let us begin, shall we? And just to mind you, I'm not a reviewer. I don't have fancy get-ups where I can actually show clips or pictures or anything like that. So if you're expecting some big production, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I'm just reviewing the movie. I'm just talking about the movie. I'm not actually going to be showing clips, unfortunately. I have no idea how to do that. But I'm stalling, so why don't we get started? The movie takes place in nowhere, somewhere, America, somewhere. And we're introduced to the Cromwell family. Their mother... What was her mom's name? Gwen. Yes, I have notes. It's been a while since I've seen it. I had to take notes. Their mother, Gwen, her 13-year-old daughter, Marty, her son, Dylan, and her youngest child, Sophie. And, of course, it's Halloween. All the kids are trick-or-treating. All the houses are decorated, except for theirs. It turns out that their mother hates Halloween and doesn't want anything to do with it. Nothing Halloween-related at all. So, of course, you get the whole family scenario. Mom's bitching about everything Halloween. Marty's the rebellious type, Dylan's the overcautiously nerdy guy, and then Sophie's the childlike, innocent, intuitive child. So of course you get slapstick from a lot of them. And then, who is to show up but their grandmother, Agatha? And apparently Agatha and Gwen have history. Well, they're mother and daughter, I would hope so. But every time that she shows up once a year, they argue. And of course, Agatha is the complete opposite. Has a costume on, has a bag that follows her around. She pulls out decorations and candy and costumes and everything out of this bag of hers. Which we already know she's a witch because she came in a flying school bus and her bag follows her around everywhere. But, after dinner, the mom's trying to rush her out. She's like, you gotta catch the bus, you gotta go, you gotta be late to go home. Then the kids want a bedtime story, which she's inclined to do. So the story is her talking about this place called Halloweentown. Halfway through the story, the mom comes in, asks to see her downstairs. Well, they go downstairs, Marty follows, and she overhears them talking about Halloweentown and how Gwen doesn't like Agatha showing up and filling their heads with being trained in witchcraft and home and all that. And of course, they get a little bit of somewhat comedical magic use from Agatha. Then Agatha proclaims that she came to ask for help because she thinks something is wrong. And of course, Gwen denies, and Agatha goes on her way. So, she goes and tells Dylan, and they follow. They end up on the bus and get transported over to the dimension of Halloweentown. And soon after they land, they find out Sophie followed them there. Then that's when they meet up with Calabar. That's his name. The mayor of the town. And he calls this skeleton named Benny, who for everyone my age that I know that likes this series, we all agree he's one of our favorite characters. The shady skeleton taxi driver that tries to be a comedian. What's not to like about that? So, he tells Benny to give him a ride over to their grandma's. They show up. The grandma informs them what's going on. There's some evil in the town trying to take over, and she's trying to stop it. Okay. She pulls out this talisman and says that she's trying to use this to banish the evil. And of course, she uses Instabrew, which doesn't work. So she has to go out and get the actual ingredients. Let's see, where did I leave off there? Oh yes. So they go out on the town looking for all these things. The grandma informs them of how Halloweentown works. You know, everyone, all the monsters and wizards there just live like ordinary people, jobs, bowling leagues, all that. And after a while of gallivanting, their mom shows up after realizing the kids are gone. And of course, she's trying to get all of them back into the human world, especially Marty, because apparently the 13th birthday is when they're supposed to end their witch training, and if they don't complete it, and if they don't start by then, they lose all their magic. And she's really wanting her to lose all her magic so she can become an actual human. But after a little while, she convinces the kids to go back. Of course, they're all sad and pissed off. Who wouldn't be? But there's a problem with the bus, so they're stuck there for a few more hours. And I should mention this, in Halloweentown, time flows differently. So 2 hours in the human world could be 2 days, 2 months, 2 weeks, you know. It's a much longer extended period of time. Then, of course, Gwen thinks, oh, I can go to the mayor, because she doesn't know it's Calabar. So she gets there, and apparently when she finds out Calabar's the mayor, they had this whole thing where it's pretty much obvious they used to go out when they were younger, before she left for the human world. Let's see, what happens after that? Oh yes, after that scene, we pan over to Agatha, meeting up with the local punk, Luke. Yeah, that's his name, Luke. And he tells her that the guy she's looking for is wanting to reveal himself to her. So, they get to the abandoned movie theater, where she sees all of the residents that have gone crazy and disappeared since the beginning of the movie have ended up. And then the main villain shows up out from behind the screen, and an all black, like, Death Eater looking, not Death Eater, but, Dementor. That's the creature I was looking for. A Dementor-like cloak, with, like, a weird scarecrow mask get-up thing going on. And he wants the talisman so that his power can't be overthrown. throne. That's not even a word. His power can't be matched. So he would have absolute power. That's a better way of saying it. Wow, I feel like a complete idiot now. But moving on. Of course, Agatha refuses. And he tries to put her under this spell, which freezes her in time so she can't do nothing, like he did with the rest of the patrons in the movie theater. Of course, for some reason, out of nowhere, the kids and her daughter show up. Why? I have no idea. I guess to move the plot along, I guess. That was the one thing with this movie I questioned. But at the end, Gwen and Agatha end up getting hit by the spell and freezing, and the kids manage to escape by opening the door, and apparently the guy can't stand light, which I will bring up that point in a little while. They open the door, a bright light comes in, and he gets weakened and has to go back into the shadows and can't follow. So they figure at this point, okay, we need to gather the ingredients listed for the spell, fill up the talisman, and then do what we're supposed to do with it. So they go to a barbershop to get the hair of a werewolf, a gym to get the sweat of a ghost, which I still don't get how they sweat, but oh well, and then a dentist office for the fang of a vampire. Okay, they get all of those, go back to their grandma's place. After a while, finally figure out how to cast the spell and fill up the talisman. Okay? Then they go back to the movie theater and try and resurrect their mom and grandma. Doesn't work. Then they figure out, oh, there's a giant pumpkin in the middle of town. Where do you put a candle when it gets dark on Halloween? Let's go try the pumpkin. Alright, they go there. Marty tries to go put the talisman in the pumpkin. Luke stops her. Says that he knows what they're going to do. That he's setting them up. It's a trap. You know, that whole thing. Then the part I really question happens where he appears on top of City Hall. Well, okay, I just thought of this. When he appeared, he created a dark cloud over the city. So I'm guessing that's how he was able to do it, because the whole thing I questioned was, oh, he can't stand light. How is he on top of the building? Then I remembered just now that he creates a black cloud above the city when he appeared, so I'm guessing that's how he did it. So that takes care of that skepticism. But then he reveals to all of Halloweentown what his plan is to conquer the mortal world so they can regain it for themselves, since they were cast out a long time ago. And then he reveals himself to be Calabar, the mayor of the town. And so, knowing that she can't get to the middle of the town square without being noticed, they come up with a plan to put Luke in the cloak and have him distract Calabar while she goes for the pumpkin. Of course, it works at first. He ends up hitting him with the spell, realizing it was Luke, and then manages to zap Marty right before she's able to get the talisman in the pumpkin. And then he proclaims his victory and all that. Then she uses what little magic power she has to make the talisman go into the socket. A big light appears, weakens Calabar, and resurrects everyone in the movie theater. Well, the kids, Gwen and Agatha, meet up. Then they inform that Calabar was the one who was doing all this. And then just when they thought they had won, Calabar uses his magic, grabs hold of the talisman, all Star Wars style, you know, Force. Ha ha! And he proclaims his victory once again. Then Agatha and Gwen try and use their magic chanting to make the talisman glow and banish him, but of course doesn't work. And then the whole thing where Marty talks about how all of them together can can be stronger than him. You know, that whole child is bullshit. And of course, that's what they end up doing. All of them band together and make the light destroy him. And then Halloweentown is saved, everything goes back to normal, and then everyone makes up. Agatha and Gwen no longer in fighting. Gwen acknowledges that her children want to learn witchcraft and allow them to do so under her and her grandmother's tutelage. And Luke goes back to being the... I don't even think they really said what he was supposed to be. Is he supposed to be like a troll or a goblin or something? He goes back to being that. And then they all head back to the human world before midnight. And then that's the end of the movie. Now, my thoughts. Is it a good movie? Yes. In my opinion, yes. Is it the best written movie? No. It's a Disney movie from back in the day. It's better than what we've got now, but is it amazing, outstanding, award-winning? No. It's cheesy, it's over the top, it's made for little kids. So, you know, the threat level isn't that high. The amount of danger seems minimal at best. So, really, it's not an outstanding movie. It's a good movie. Don't... Wow, I can't talk. Don't be confused. It's a good movie. I would recommend it to anybody. Young, old, whatever. But, as per the series, it is one of the more childish ones in the series. You know, the rest of them, just like with a lot of other series, it starts out pretty childish, pretty minute threat level, and then progressively gets more and more chaotic, a little bit darker every installment. So, it's a good beginning to a series, and on its own, it's a good standalone movie. But they made a couple of sequels to it, and all of them are pretty good. And so I will review them in the next couple of days. So before this gets too long, I will sign out here. This is the Mad King Paradox S signing off, and I will see you all next time.